I have been given some questions. If you don't mind, I'll talk a little and we'll discuss or answer these questions. Which would you prefer? Either I answer some of these questions after I've talked a little, or would you like to discuss? What's up? Discussion. Perhaps we can do both. If I may, I'd like to talk over with you several things. What does it mean to learn? Is there a teacher to teach you not only academic subjects, but teach you to understand yourselves, oneself, how to look at the world with all its calamities, miseries and confusion and corruption? Is there a teacher? Or you are both the teacher and the disciple? You understand my question? That's what I would like to talk over with you. And also, what does it mean, discipline? A school, from Latin and Greek and so on. School means leisure, to have great deal of leisure to learn. And I'd like also to talk over with you this question of discipline, and also whether we can face this world with all its travail, with all its confusion and all the rest of it, intelligently. So I'd like to discuss with you, talk over together these three questions. Whether there is a teacher outside you, or you are both the teacher and the disciple. There is no guru apart from you, no leader, no savior, no external authority, except in certain areas. And so you are both the teacher and the disciple. We'll go into that. And the other is discipline. The meaning of that word discipline comes from the root disciple. Disciple, one who learns, not who follows, not who obeys, conforms, but one who is learning. And the other is, if we can talk over together, when students leave this place, how to help them or how to cultivate that intelligence that will meet the world right? Can we talk over these three together? Which means, will you kindly listen to what is being said? Because most of us find it awfully difficult to listen to somebody else. We've got our own thoughts, we're immersed in our own problems, our own backyard troubles, and so on. We are immersed in those things. And it's awfully difficult to listen to somebody completely, not partially. Is that possible to listen? Not to interpret, not to translate what one is saying in terms of your own words, but actually listen to what another says without any barrier, both linguistic barrier and the barrier that one creates through resistance, not wanting to listen. It might be disturbing. So we hardly ever listen. We hear, because most of us have fairly acute hearing, but we hardly ever listen. I hope we see the distinction between the two. So can we, this morning, put aside our conclusions, our prejudices, and actually listen? Not only to what the speaker is saying, but also listen to all the birds. Listen to the whisper among the leaves. Listen to a squirrel going up the tree. Listen to the poverty around you. Listen to all the noise the trees make, though it's very still. So could we, this morning, so listen so that we can think together? Not agree together. Not follow verbally what is being said, but actually think together. Is that possible? Or each one of us is so terribly self-centered that we never come into a relationship with another at the same level, at the same instant, with the same intensity, so that we are thinking together. Could we do that this morning? I'm just suggesting it. It's up to you. So, from whom are we learning? Apart from technological subjects, like mathematics, geography, physics, and so on, carpentry, how to drive a car, how to put computers together, you have to learn from somebody. And we extend that same movement into the psychological world. You following me? We are together. And there we say somebody must help us. Somebody must show us how to understand ourselves. Right? Either we read philosophical books, psychological to psychological professors, take degrees and so on. But isn't all that a process of being informed about yourself, about the psyche? You understand what I'm saying? Are we together in this? May I? Are we together? So I'm asking, who is the teacher? Is there a teacher at all? Guru at all? A leader? An example to follow? Or is it possible to read the story of mankind, humanity, of which you are? We are, each one, the entire humanity. Would you accept that? Would you agree to this? Not verbally, but actually realize the truth of this immense significance of a statement that you are the rest of mankind. Not representative of mankind, but you are the rest of mankind. Because you suffer, you have anxieties, worries, problems, anxieties, insecurity, like the rest of human beings right throughout the world. Right? Whether they live in America or Europe or Russia or China or in this unfortunate country, your consciousness, what you are, other human beings share the same ground as you do. Right? So you are actually, not theoretically, not as an ideal or as a hypothetical issue, but you are the rest of mankind. So you are this story of mankind. You are the book, if you can so put it, of the story of human beings who have lived on this earth as human beings standing on two legs and so on for the last 40, 50,000 years. So, who is the teacher? You understand my question? And from whom are you learning? If one can read the book of mankind, which is yourself, then there is neither a teacher or a disciple. You are that. I wonder if you understand what I'm talking about. Are we together in this little bit? Little bit, that's good enough. We are saying your consciousness, with all its reactions, its beliefs, its dogmas, its fears, pleasures and sorrows and all that, is shared by all human beings. That's a fact. And if you are that, you are the Guru. Understand? I wonder if you understand. You are the disciple. There is no teacher out there and you the disciple. So you are learning about yourself all the time. And in the very process of learning, you are teaching. I wonder if you understand. Am I making what I clear? No, not verbally. Verbally, any person can describe the mountain, the beauty of a mountain, paint it, describe it, explain it, biologically and so on. But to see the beauty of the mountain, to go up to it, climb it, be very near it, feel the extraordinary vitality, the strength, the beauty of it, does not lie in descriptions or verbal explanations. So, we are questioning the whole system of the Guru and the disciple. The whole methodology of following somebody. Taking vows to some symbol. Could we, for the moment, discuss that and go on to discipline and so on? Could we discuss that for a while? Do you, if I may ask, you don't talk like that, do you consider the speaker sitting on this little platform your Guru? Then why are you listening to him? Why are you taking the trouble to come here to find out? Either you want to be informed, or we are learning together. Not you, the disciple, I, the speaker, the teacher, but together we are reading the extraordinary story of mankind, which is you. I would have forget this. But I see you don't react to this. Is it that we are so heavily conditioned that the idea that you are the rest of mankind and there is nobody to help you or learn about the vast life but except yourself? Right? Apparently you don't react to all this. So let's go on to the next subject, shall we? Which is, what is learning? What do we mean by learning? At a school, the educator is informing the student about mathematics, because the poor student doesn't know anything about mathematics. And society demands that if he is to become an engineer, he must know mathematics up to a certain point. So the teacher who has been conditioned by the society, which he himself has created, right? And the student is learning from him, memorizing. Right, sir? He's acquiring information, storing it up in his brain, which is to collect information as memory and hold it. That's what we call generally learning. Right? I learn how to climb a mountain. I learn about matter through science, telescope and all the rest of it. Or I learn from you how to ride a bicycle, and so on. Apart from that learning, is there any other kind of learning? Gosh, you're all so... Are we together in this, or you're all... What do you say? Is there a learning which is not merely memorizing? Because would you see that life, living, is a constant movement, not static. It's a tremendous movement. And you can't learn about something which is living. All that you can do is to watch it, follow it. Not say, memorize it and say, this is living. I wonder if you follow all this. Right? Am I talking to myself or to you? So, when we talk about learning in a school here, as in Rishi Valley, we have the idea that learning is from a book or from a professor, educator, who is going to inform you about a particular academic subject, and you store that up to become an engineer, philosopher, whatever it is. But life, living, is something tremendous movement. It's not ever stable. It's not ever static. It doesn't stay in one place. So learning becomes then a constant change and movement. I wonder if you follow this. And so, where does discipline play a part in all this? Discipline, as is generally understood, is to conform. Each academic subject has its own discipline, right? It's all Greek or... Agree to that? If I am studying mathematics, I have to watch very carefully, follow it has its own order. And discipline, as is generally understood, is to conform, modify, accept, obey the pattern, which prevents us from learning. Right? the meaning of discipline is to learn. Right? And the other question is, what is intelligence? Can we, as educators living in this valley or other universities or colleges, how do we help a student to face the world intelligently? What do we mean by that word intelligence? The word, etymologically, I've carefully looked up in several dictionaries, means to read between the lines. That's one part of it. To gather a lot of information and gather a lot of information, fact, and use it correctly. You cannot use all that you have gathered, both psychological outward facts, if there is an interference of personal prejudice. Right? Or you act according to some conclusion. Right? That's not intelligence. Through negation of what is not intelligent, you come to the positive of intelligence. Following all this? Are we beating the same drum together, or? So what is intelligence which is not the activity of thought which is limited? Thought has created intelligence, its own intelligence. To go to the moon, it has to have tremendous intelligence of 300,000 people who are working together. That's what we were told. 300,000 people working together, each doing his part perfectly. And the desire to go to the moon has to have great intellectual activity, thought, creating the instruments, putting it all together, going to the moon. That requires a great deal of intelligence. To build a computer as they are doing now requires a great deal of intelligence. Investigation, change, all that, which is the activity of thought creating its own intelligence. Right? That intelligence is limited. And is there an intelligence which is not limited? An intelligence which is not put together by thought? You understand all this? All religions have been put together by thought. They may call it revelation, straight from the God or straight from the horse's mouth, but is still put together by thought. And thought is limited. We went into that briefly. So, is there an intelligence which has no relationship to the activity of the brain. Dead silence. Because is love the activity of thought? Right? Is love desire, pleasure, which are related to thought? Right? So where there is love, there is intelligence. Right? Love is not jealousy, anxiety. You follow, love is love. It's not personal or impersonal, it's like a flower. You either have it or you don't have it. So, I've talked about these three factors. You are both the teacher and the disciple. You are both the guru and the one who is learning. So your responsibility then is not only to learn, to teach, and also to instruct. I wonder if you understand. Because you are a teacher. You are learning. And that can only come to being when one realizes that you are really in your blood, not just up here, in your whole being, that you are the rest of mankind. You are the mankind. Therefore you have no nationality, no, you understand, the whole nonsensical structure. And also discipline to learn. Learn as you are going down the lane, watching everything. Never holding what you are watching, memorizing, and from memory act. I won't go into that, it's a very complex problem. Whether it's possible for the brain, I'm just suggesting, I won't go into it, not to record. This requires, I won't go into it now because it requires quite a different road that will take us somewhere else. So, discipline, learning, and intelligence. Really, they are one whole. They are not separate activities. Finished. Shall I read these questions first and discuss afterwards? What do you say? Huh? Is this convenient for you? We tend to make your teachings into a system in our schools. What can we do about it? We tend to make your teachings into a system in our schools. What can we do about it? First of all, what is a system? What's a method? What's a practice? Do you understand my question? Why do we make a system of anything? You see, in a government, bureaucracy has a system, which they do it automatically. You don't have to think, you say, I receive a letter, I pass it on to you, you're above me, and you're responsible. You pass it on to somebody else, and so on. Then you are completely safe. And gurus also offer systems. And we like that, because if we follow, we more or less are secure. Right? If we obey. So we make more or less of everything into a system, into a method, which becomes mechanical. And it's very easy to follow, to do things mechanically. Right? And the questioner says, how can we prevent this in this school? Right? First of all, do we realize our brains, through long centuries of time and duration, have become almost mechanical? Get up in the morning, do puja, whatever you do, go to the office or the college or the school from 9 to 5, right? And safe. It's a mechanical process of living, whether it is sexual, whether it is religious, whether it is business and politics. It is establishing a pattern which you follow regularly. So you don't have to think very much. And we like that. That's an easy way of living. So we reduce everything into a system. Cleaning your teeth with a brush, you have done it for so long, you do it automatically. Right? The same kind of food, and so on. So gradually, one's brain becomes mechanical. I don't know if you have not noticed it, right? You are dissatisfied with the Western religious culture, and you come to this country and follow some idiotic guru. It's the same pattern, but here is more romantic, all that kind of stuff. So, what happens? Our brains, through long time and thousands of years, have become gradually mechanical and so gradually dull. That's a fact. Insensitive, not alive. And the questioner says, what can we do about this? What will you do about it? Not me. What will you, who are here or in another college or university or schools, what will you do about it? When you realize that our brains, which are extraordinary instrument, I don't know if you've gone into it, it's really the most extraordinary instrument. So alive, so astonishingly capable. because of what they have done technologically. And that brain has become mechanical. Right? I do puja for the next 40, 50 years. If I'm a Catholic, Mass, the rituals, all that. The rituals, all that we think is very religious. Whereas we never inquire into why the brain, which is so astonishingly alive in one direction, has become so dull in another. And do we see the danger of it? Do we, each one of us, do we see the danger of a brain becoming mechanical? It's dead, isn't it? So when you are doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, it is not alive. Do we see the danger of it? Here or any other place? If you see the danger of it, you won't make a system of the teachings or anything. You understand, sir? If you see a cobra, there are some of them here, I've noticed several of them. If you see a cobra, which is tremendously dangerous, you run. So we don't see the danger of this. If you saw the danger of reducing everything into a system, then you will never form a system, obviously. It's only the dull, mechanical mind finds safety in a system. Right? It's simple. So, when you reject a system, then your brain is moving, living. Right, I won't go to it. How can we help a child to be secure? How can we help a child to be secure? Why do you ask me this question, if I may ask? What do you mean by the word secure? When you fulfill your desires, you feel secure, right? In the urge to fulfill, and in the fulfillment, there is a certain sense of safety. You've done something. And security is denied through nationalism, right? Because nationalism is one of the causes of war, right? So when you are a nationalist, you are denying security not only for yourself, for the future generations, right? To be secure from disease. Is that possible? Living in a polluted world, in a world that is so disastrously active in a wrong direction, how can it be secure? So, where is there security? You understand my question? Is there security in your belief that there is God, that there is Savior, that there is, all that? Is there security in all that? Is there security in illusions? If one is aware that you're caught in an delusion or illusion, is there security in that? If one becomes aware of it. But if one does not become aware of it, faith, belief, some kind of imaginative process, you feel safe, secure. But that is a state of total insecurity. So where is their security? Oh, sir, tell me. Please, I'm waiting for your answer. Where is their security? Not in books, right? If you are a Muslim and your Quran is your Bible, and you hold to that tremendously, it creates a division in the world, right? And that division is going to bring war, which is taking place now. Books, images, beliefs, right? Dogmas, in all that, unless one is totally blind, deaf and dumb, in all that there is no security. I don't feel it, right? Nor in your family, nor in your own confidence. So where is their security?
If one can see false as false.
Huh?
If one can see false as false, there is...
That's how you're quoting. Don't quote. Please forgive me.
The question, sir, probably has been...
What?
The question has been posed to you probably because the teacher would like to make the child feel at home.
Yes, sir. I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that.
That is probably the important question.
I'm coming to that. First, let's find out, as grown-up people, if we are, whether there is security at all, or there is security. You understand my question? You answer it, sir, please.
In the present system, there is no security.
N-
But we do not know
Any
the-
system there is no, why do you say present system? Future system?
We do not know of it.
Therefore there is, so where is their security? If we can understand there is a security somewhere and be established in that, then we can ask the question, how to make a child, as Dr. Hiralal put it, feel at home. What does it mean to feel at home? We'll go into all that. But first, is there security?
There can't be security within the framework of
Oh, sir?
there can't be security within the framework of thinking.
There can't be security within the framework of thinking.
Then, where are you seeking it?
Within the framework of thinking.
Yes, sir. So is that an idea?
So if we see the fact that thought is always towards the goal, and when you are towards the goal, there can never be security.
Yes, sir. So, are you, as a human being, put aside security in the framework of thought?
Only when you do that,
Not so only when. Do you see it? We love to theorize about this awful, all this kind of stuff. We never meet it face to face, right? I'm asking most respectfully, where is your security? You have sought it in your family, in the community, in the nation, in the tribe, in your particular gods. Right? And all that, every person is doing that. In his own imagination, in his own conclusions, in his own theories, in his own beliefs, and so on, so on, so on. In all that, there is no security. Then where is that security? As the speaker says, there is security only in intelligence. Not the intelligence of your cunning mind, cunning brain. There is that security where there is love, and that love is the ultimate intelligence. In that there is security. Now, how do you make a child feel at home in this valley? It comes to you already conditioned by his parents, right? Already feeling that he's going to some strange place, frightened, being pushed by the parents to go to here, right? Homesick. How do you make him feel at home? Don't look at me, sirs. Ask this question. Huh?
Question becomes invalid. Question becomes invalid.
Why?
Because there is no how.
There is no?
How. There is no how.
All right, I won't put the word how. In what manner will you make him feel at home?
There won't be any set manner. There is no set manner. There is no set manner.
Oh, isn't there? Not set manner.
Not set manner. If I am with the child, then
I am the child. I am the child. I come here from my home where the parents have bullied me, kicked me around, telling me all day long what to do and what not to do. And I'm frightened there at home, right? I'm conditioned there. And they send me to this place against my will, against my desire, I don't want to go there. Because I'm used to that kind of life. And I come here and I feel extraordinarily a stranger, right? Right? What do you say to that, right? Isn't that so? For God's sake, what's the matter with all? Then, what am I, as a teacher, what am I to do? To make him feel completely at home. Because child needs security of environment, right? Child needs somebody to say, you're safe here. Safe. We are going to look after you. We have affection for you. And so on, so on. First, don't you welcome him? He's your guest. Right? We're all guests in this earth, on this earth. You may not like that, but that's another point. So, he's a guest here. Right? And you treat him as a guest. Am I right? Make him feel completely at home. What does that mean? Huh?
I would welcome him.
Huh?
I would welcome him or her.
I said that, welcome him. What does it mean?
Love him.
Huh?
Love him. To be concerned.
Huh?
Not to be concerned, to love. To be concerned, to love.
What does that mean?
To accept him.
Huh?
To accept him.
What do you mean accept him?
Accept him in his fullness. If you sort of...
You accept him? Huh?
We observe him. We observe the child. We observe the child.
I don't know what you're all talking about.
It. When we have a guest in the house, what do? This answer is quite simple. We try to meet his reasonable needs to make him comfortable as is possible.
Observe him, love him, welcome him. What does it all mean? Do you really mean what you say? Do you really observe the child? Or you have already classified him? Put him in a... Would you kindly answer my question?
No, I said that I would love him.
Huh?
I said that I would love him.
Do you love anybody?
Yes.
Huh? What do you mean by that word?
Perhaps it cannot be put into words.
Huh?
What she means by love, perhaps it cannot be put into words.
Why not? You put it into words great many things. Why not this?
Loving him or her, independent of conditioning.
Huh?
Unconditional love. Love him or her without... Sorry. I mean that one tends to look all the time at people as they are conditioned to be, but love is independent of that.
She is implying that she has affection for the child independent of his conditioning. Am I right?
I don't understand this.
I mean that if there is a child, say a 10-year-old child, who is conditioned,
I'm trying to understand,
then
madam.
I could either respond to his conditioning, which would mean reinforcing his conditioning.
I'm not talking about his condition.
No, I am trying to explain that I will love him. I will love him apart from his conditioning, that his conditioning is not present in the love.
Well, I think what she means is that she would respond to the child without putting him into any, without identifying him.
All right.
in such
Is
and
that
such
what
a
you
way.
call love?
Love in its purity.
What?
Love in its best form is you treat somebody without labeling them in any particular way.
Is that what you call love? Well, I'm not talking about you. I'm not being personal. Do you love your wife and your husband or your girlfriend? You're all married, aren't you, most of you? In India, this is done immediately. And do you love your wife or your husband?
But there it is reciprocal.
Huh?
It becomes reciprocal there. So here,
She
perhaps with the
gives you or
child,
you give her.
both.
So that you call love.
I would just say reciprocal affection.
That's what I'm saying, sir. And so it's a big word. You give her something, she gives you something. Is that love?
No.
Then why you exploit her and she exploits you? You have an image about her and she has an image about you. Right? Right? Don't be nervous, I'm not talking about you. Come.
When you have a guest and you feel that that is your house, the guest can never feel comfortable. The same with the child. If a child comes and we feel that we are both guests in this place and are here for the same purpose, to learn together and to explore together everything, the environment, the knowledge, the everything that the place offers. Perhaps this is the way to welcome the child.
So is love something to be cultivated through exploring together, walking together, holding hands together, sleeping together? Sex, is that all that what you call love? Yeah. Would you kindly answer my question? Can there be love when there is ambition? But don't say, no, but you are all ambitious. So you don't relate to your life, all right? Just you live on theories. Can a man who is violent love? Can a politician love? Who is seeking power, position, status? Oh, no, I give up. So, the child comes here. How do you make? Is it possible to make him feel completely at home? What does that mean? No fear, right? Right, sir? No fear of any kind. Is that possible?
Only if one is completely at home oneself.
Huh?
Perhaps only if one is completely at home oneself.
If you are the teacher here and you welcome that child, and to make him feel at home, you must give him the feeling that you are not creating fear in him. Right? Right, sir? That means you yourself are working at fear. So you are freeing yourself from fear. Are we? I'm not looking at anybody, so it's not being personal.
Sir, I don't know you discard my question. I am tremendously secure in you. And
In me?
Yes. Please listen to me. I feel I wish I had a grandfather like you, walking always with me. Why? You please explain. I am attached to you.
Sir, go slowly. I haven't heard. You find security in me.
Yes, tremendously.
And then what next?
Then I feel I always have a grandfather like you, walking along with me always.
What?
He wants a grandfather. He wants you to be a grandfather who would walk with me always.
I see.
I'm fairly old, sir. I'm 89.
Listen to people may be laughing. I mean it very seriously, sir.
I know you are, sir. I'm not belittling, sir. What do you want a grandfather for?
I don't know.
Oh yes, sir. You do know. We'll go into it. Why do you want somebody to whom you can look up to? Grandfather, grandmother, guru.
I am dumb, sir. I am dumb. In front of you, I am dumb.
Good. No, don't laugh. Let's start from there, for God's sake.
So this is seeking security. When we
No,
do not
sir,
have our own security, we try to seek it.
He's asked a question. He said, I am dumb. Right? Right, sir?
Yes.
That's first honest statement. Now let's start. Can you be free of being dumb? How do you compare yourself with another that makes you feel dumb? I meet you. I meet Dr. Hiralal. He's IIT, great professor, brains, been to Europe, America, and all the rest of it. And I see him. I say, my God, he's an extraordinary person. I am not as clever as he is, so I'm making myself dull by comparison, am I not? Am I not, sir?
So you switch over the table.
No, sir, please.
No, I am sorry.
I'm asking you, please, sir, just listen to my question. Do I make myself dull through comparison? I compare myself with him or with somebody else who is extraordinarily bright. And I say, my God, how dull I am. So, do I become dull through comparison? Or if I don't compare at all, am I dull?
I think he said dumb. Did you say dumb?
Dumb.
Yes. D-U-M-B.
No, I don't think I feel dull. When I need you or tremendously I am secured in you, I don't think I feel dull.
You said, sir, forgive me, I am dumb.
Dumb, yes.
Dull.
No, no.
Dumb.
Huh?
D-O-W-N.
No.
D-U-M-B. D-U-M-B.
He feels dumb.
D-U-M-B.
Yes.
He feels dumb in your presence.
That's what I, sir, just a minute, sir, do listen to it.
So perhaps he feels speechless. Yes.
I am asking a simple question, sir. Do I feel dumb because I compare with somebody who is far cleverer, brighter, nicer looking, all the rest of it? And I say, my God, I am dumb compared to him. If I don't compare, am I dull? Dumb?
Sir, I play this game intellectually.
No.
Now listen carefully. Again I come back to the position that I am secure tremendously in you.
What am I to do? You don't laugh. You have got, he feels security in X, in this person. You feel security in your temple. You feel security in your conclusions. It's the same thing. Cabinet minister feels completely secure as long as his government laws.
They don't seem to be the same thing, sir.
Huh?
They don't seem to be the same thing. We feel something different, we are not able to express.
Yes, sir.
See, in you, we find that you love us, but I don't know how to love. I don't know anything. I simply feel completely happy in your presence. I would like you to be with me all the time in my life.
You like to be with me all the time. So you want me to nurse you along.
I don't know what it is. Nurse me
Yes,
also.
sir,
I
yes,
feel
sir.
completely.
It's the same old thing over and over again. I feel secure in knowing some prime minister. I feel secure in knowing that God exists. I feel secure in my business. I feel secure, right, sir? Whether in this, in that. In other words, I feel secure depending on somebody. Right, sir? Right? And I die. What happens? Then you create an image of me, right? Whether in the that image made by the hand or by thought, then you worship that image and you feel completely safe there, right? I'm sorry, we have gone away from this point. Child comes here and I want to help him. I want him to feel completely at home. Which means he must have no fear here, right? Right? Would you agree to that? Who am I talking to? Is it possible to make that child, that student who comes here, to feel he has no fear here at all?
Sir, if we make the child completely secure, does it not lead to attachment?
We are going into it, sir. So could we think together for a minute? A person feels secure at home when there is no fear, right? Right, agree, sir? Agree? That means no examinations. Listen carefully. No examinations. He is not being compared with B, who is more clever than he. So all comparison, all sense of superior and inferior, right? Will you work that out in a school? Only then the student feels completely at home, which he doesn't at his own home, because he's frightened of his father. He's beaten him up, scolded him, right? Or his grandmother, or his mother, or his aunt, somebody or other. They like to bully younger people, right? They never bully the older, the bosses. So, is it possible to help the child to feel at home, which means no fear of any kind?
Krishna Krishnaji, so far we've been talking about teachers giving security to the children.
I did not.
I'm a student over here, and I don't feel completely secure. Is there a way of being part of the system and feeling secure?
Are you reducing it to yourself that you don't feel secure here, and you like to be secure?
Is there a need to be secure?
Huh?
Is there a need to be secure?
I'm asking you.
I don't know.
I said there is security only in intelligence. Complete security in intelligence. And it's my function as an educator to help the student to be so extraordinarily intelligent, not in the intellectual or verbal or scholastic sense, but to have that intelligence.
I'm not finding that help from the educators. So what do I do from my part?
You what?
I don't find that help from the educators over here.
No. There are no educators like that anywhere.
So what do I do from my part?
Lump it. Or, in spite of the educator, you understand? In spite of the educator, become intelligent. Right? Don't depend on anybody. What time is it? Huh? Can I answer the last question? What is it to teach without reward and punishment, since we convey our approval or disapproval to a child in such subtle ways? What is it to teach without reward and punishment, since we convey our approval or disapproval to a child in such subtle ways? How do you train a dog? Have you ever trained any dog? Huh? Have you ever trained any dog? I happened to be with one dog, we trained it. If he obeys you, you reward him with a biscuit. Right? When you want him to heal, you say, come here, and you give him something. And don't we all act on that same principle? Reward and punishment? Huh? Utter silence. Don't we all react to punishment and reward? That's the principle. That's the way we live. For God's sake, face it. From the most highest politician down to the lowest uneducated, poor villager, a reward and punishment. Now the question is it possible to educate a child, educate not only the child but ourselves in talking over with the child? You understand? Is it possible to educate him without this principle of reward and punishment? Come on, answer me. You are the teachers.
But isn't the delight a child may feel in discovering something
What?
also a reward?
What?
Is the delight a child may feel in discovering something also a reward? Is this reward and punishment working on a level in interior to the child.
So you're training him on the principle of reward and punishment. And the questioner says, is it possible not to do that? Ask. To bring about a child, help to educate a child without this principle. Huh? It is possible. Why do you say that? Is this a theory or actuality? In this school or any other school, is there a teaching in which there is educating, in which there is this principle of reward and punishment doesn't exist at all?
Krishnaji has not heard about a man called Machado working in
What?
a man called Machado, I don't know the pronunciation. But he is working in a Latin American country where the children are brought up to be of high grade intelligence, where they can meet challenges or questions dealing with.
So I don't know the gentleman. So why do you quote him?
Well, I have read about him.
Why do you bother to read about him? Why, I'm asking you, if you are a teacher, if you are a father, if you are a mother, if you are somebody, can you live a life in which there is no reward and punishment? You follow a guru, very simple, because he's going to give you a reward, right? No?
Sir, I think the question that has been posed has three aspects in the context of a school. Now, one is reward and punishment. The other aspect is approval, disapproval.
Same thing.
The third thing is a comparison in the sense of evaluation, assessment in regard to various academic subjects. I think these are three aspects which the teacher has to verify. And I think that we will formally avoid grades or assessment, but in some aspect or another, it has to be done, cannot be avoided. But I think we are tending to confuse this, to take this question of comparison or evaluation or reward or punishment, approval, disapproval, all fields. That is where the difficulty lies.
Yes, sir. But I begin at home.
But
I have to begin near. And the nearness is the school. I'm here. And I'm responsible for a lot of children, students. And I see how deplorable it is that this principle is carried out. Reward and punishment, approval, disapproval, and so on. What am I to do? I think it's wrong, in principle, to educate anybody on reward and punishment. And help me to find out how to live, how to educate, without this beastly thing going on.
Are natural consequences of action
also, can they be like rewards and punishments? Or
Yes, I'm asking you that.
If you teach yourself, there is no reward or punishment. But if somebody teaches you, there is reward and punishment.
Now, do you realize what we are talking about? A class of 20 students. They've all been brought up at home to be self-centered, right? Right? They've all been educated, trained to be concerned with themselves. And there come there 20 little monkeys who are completely self-centered, right? A little bit off here and there, but they are self-centered. And they look at the whole of existence from that point of view. As they grow up, like all of them, self-centered. And how will you help them not to be so self-centered? Will you kindly tell me? What am I to do to help this children to be more considerate, be concerned about others? To love others, to not me first, never second. Where competition is encouraged, games are, you follow the whole thing. What am I to do? You can talk theoretically about it because you are not teachers. But if you are actually a parent, a teacher, an educator in this place, what are you going to do? If you see it's wrong, totally destructive of this principle of reward and punishment, being trained like a dog or a monkey, what will you do? May I go into it? That's all. You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
What would I do if I was a teacher here? What would you do if you were a teacher? I have a responsibility for so many students. And they're all, disturbed coming here. They're all wanting their own way, all the rest of it. And I see they're used to punishment and reward, examinations, keeping records and all that. They're used to all that. And I want to break up that. I want to break up that pattern. And I really mean I want to break it up. I don't say it merely verbally and then go back to the old thing. I really want to break up this system of reward and punishment, with all its implications. So what shall I do? Because reward and punishment creates fear, right? Are you sure? Creates fear. So my concern then is, I forget reward and punishment. My concern then is, can I help them and myself in helping them free from fear? You understand? I want to help them. And also in helping them, I'm also helping myself to be free from fear. Right? I am not the person who says, I have no fear, I'll help you. But the educator and the educated are both in the same boat. Agree? They're in the same boat. So, if an educator says, look, my friend, I am also frightened as you are, let's work it out. Right? Let's work it out. So he asked me, what are you frightened about, sir? I'm frightened about, because there is a boss above me, right? Or some other. So in talking it over with him, I discover my fears. He is discovering his fears. You understand? There is a relationship between the educator and the educated in discussing about fear. Not theoretically. Say, I'm afraid of my wife. And he says, sir, yes, I'm afraid of you. Fear is common between us, not my wife, or he's afraid of me. Fear, right? You understand what I'm saying? No? For God's sake. And so I say, what is fear? How does it come about? What's the root of it? Right? So I go into it. So I've established a real communication with the student. Then both of us are helping each other to be free. I don't put myself on a pedestal, I'm the teacher, you're the... But we are both on the same level. I wonder if you realize this. Time. Is time a factor of fear? Yes. So is it possible? I won't go, this is too complex. Is it possible to understand the whole movement of time? Because thought, fear is part of that movement. You understand what I'm saying? Time and thought are the cause of fear, basic cause of fear. So I'm going to help that student to understand this fact. It may take a whole term, but I'm jolly well going to see to it. Right? Time to stop, sir. Sorry. If you get up, I'll get up.